Well, hello friends, Coach Bob with you today, and today I've got a very interesting video for you. We're going to be looking at the POC-Link radios. I'm going to call them PocLink. We're going to be looking at the PocLink radios. You know, I didn't realize how controversial these things are. But sit down, grab a cup of coffee, we're going to unbox these things, show you what you get. But they're here. Ooh la la. All right, so let's unbox them. All right, let's see what we got here. All right, so we have a pair of PocLink POC-1 Ultra radios. You know, people will call these the old Nextels, the push-to-talks. It's kind of that same vibe, but we'll talk about exactly what they do and why they are a little different, although it's the same type of technology. So let's see what we get in the box. We have the radio. Are you my guard dog? Nice little PocLink manual, charging cable, wrist strap. So this is going to cover the slot where your SIM card goes. This is going to be your belt clip. Wall wart for charging. And just to show you that this already comes with a SIM card pre-installed. So without any directions, just using my basic humanity, let's see. You can see there's two little tabs right there. They'll go into those little slots right there. Press the door shut. Easy peasy. Take the battery. Locks right in. So your belt clip, you just open it up a little bit, take the little metal piece, slide it in, it locks. And you can see you have a little slot right here, little doorway. Slide it through just like that. We'll run it through the loop. Now you have your safety lanyard, your belt clip, battery, SIM card, all installed. So basically, I have all of this ×2. So let's go inside. We're going to talk about what this thing does, what it is, and how you can use one, because again, these are controversial and popular all at the same time. Right up my alley. All right, charging is done via a simple USB-C slot right here. And we're just going to go ahead and charge this baby right up, because once we start, we don't want to have to stop due to the fact that we have a depleted battery. All right, so let's pop this other one out of the bag. You see, SIM card is installed already. All right, we have them both charging. We'll come back in a little while and see where we are. All right, so let's talk a little bit about what it is and what it is not. You have this right here. This is my Garmin InReach. I pay a monthly subscription to this, and I really like it. It works great. This works via satellites. This thing right here, you're going to get a message out no matter what. This would be like doomsday scenario. I love this thing. It's never failed me. It's super durable. But this is different. This works over cellular networks. And I know you're saying, well, Coach, what if the cellular network goes down? Well, I have a friend that uses one of these. And the last time we had a hurricane go through, I could not talk to anyone on my cell phone. He was communicating with his son up in the Midwest using one of these. And it's because it's not locked down to one cellular network. It bounces off of any cell tower that's out there. This is going to give you more redundancy than a conventional cell phone. Also, because of the push to talk, it's not a constant connection. So it's not going to drop. You say something, it goes across. They respond, it comes back. There's never this total lockup like a cell phone has where you'll drop your call. Or in my case, I'm with Verizon, I couldn't get through it all. There's an area near my home that when you go up and down the hills, there are certain networks that work great, but my network goes to 0 bars and I drop calls every time I go through these zones. This works there every single time, and I know it does because a friend of mine has one and I've utilized it. I've never set one up before, but we're getting ready to do that.
PocLink radio is now connected.
Okay, so all I did was turn the radios on, and it ran through a startup thing, and it says that the radios are now connected to the network. So now that it's powered up and shows that it's connected to the network, let's go over the button functions. Okay, up here at the top, that's of course your power on and off. And also if you press it when the screen's off, it'll turn the screen on. Press it again, turn the screen off. You have two push to talk buttons, one on the front, one on the side. The push to talk on the front is for analog mode. And the push to talk on the side is POC. That's push over cellular. That's the one that uses your cellular network. You've got a menu that you can go through here. This right here is simply a back button. A volume up and down here.
Volume level 3. Volume level 2.
And it tells you what volume level it is. I'm putting these on 2. And then, of course, your speaker is on the front. This over here, this opens up. This is for earphones. So the next thing you do, of course, with anything in today's world, you have to get an app. So let's download the app. I'll show you how to do that. So as you can see, you have for Android, you have for Apple. It will bring you to the PocLink app. Of course, it gives you all of the options of Apple, Facebook, Google, whatever. I'm just going to use my email, so I'm going to move my phone to the side as I create my account. All right, it was very simple. It sent me a confirmation code to an email address that I utilized to set this account up. It tells me no device added. So when I add a device, here's how I do it. I'm going to add a device and I'm going to scan it here and here. It scanned it. I'm going to confirm it. Pairing successful. Confirm. Okay, that device is already done. Okay, so there's device 1. It's in. Let's go to the next one. We're going to add this device now. We're going to scan it as well. Again, we're just going to simply turn the screen on, go to the back button. We're going to hit the camera. We're going to scan that. And I'm going to confirm it. Link successful. Go back. There's my 2 radios right there. I can rename it. I'm going to name this Coach Bob. I'm going to confirm that. So that unit now is Coach Bob. You can see it right up there. Go to the other one. I'm going to rename it Coach Vic. And there it is. We have these 2 radios, Coach Bob and Coach Vic. If I buy other devices, which I will, I'll simply add device and I can create groups with that. We have successfully connected them via Bluetooth to my phone. Very, very simple. And we have opened our account. Very, very simple. You can see now the radio has my name and this now has Coach Vic's name. All right, so we're going to create a group. So you come up here, press these little 4, new group, join a group, join via QR code. We're going to create a new group and we're going to call it CB3 Fam. You see there's no one in our group right now. These are the 2 members, obviously, on my phone. We're going to add Coach Vic and myself to this group. Add members. All right, another thing, I've got Coach Vic's radio brought up here for SOS. You can add people to it. I, of course, added myself to that. And a quick voice call, I added myself to that. Device location, I'm going to turn that on. The CB3 Fam group. Go through the brass tacks of this thing. 3000 mAh battery. It works on a 4 gig network. It requires no licensing, 16 channels. The power is plus or minus 2 watts. Another cool thing, off-grid range up to 35 miles line of sight. So obviously if you're in the mountains, your line of sight is going to be diminished, but here where it's pancake flat, we can get a long way out of these things. When the grandkids are playing in the neighborhood, they will have one of these on them. They can talk to me. They can communicate with me directly. I hook it to their belt and they walk around and they just, hey, Grandpa, I'm here. That sort of thing. Screen size is 1.44 inches. The headset port is a K cable. So what this thing is made out of is an ABS plastic. The input power is 5 volts at 1 amp. It's IPX4 waterproof, weighs 136 grams. And the things it comes with is a SIM card, a battery, the lanyard, the USB-C charging cable, and the belt clip. You can run this thing in any time zone. Of course, I'm running it where I am. A red light means it's a charge in progress. When it's a steady green, that means it's fully charged. And there will be a voice prompt when the battery runs low. You don't want to throw this thing in a lake and you don't want to put it over a fire. Kind of common sense there, right? Don't take it apart and try to fix it yourself. You know, all of the dumb things that we want to do. Coach Vic left for Georgia this morning. I wish I had had these already because it would be a great test while she's up in Georgia to be able to talk. Also, we could test the line of sight. Again, the push to talk on the front side is going to be your analog. That's your line of sight. And the push to talk on the side is your POC. That's push over cellular. All right, so one of the things that when you use the push to talk on the front, again, this is going to be the analog. You have private code settings. You can switch it to different channels. And this is called an FRS. That's Family Radio Service. Basically, it means a low-powered walkie-talkie for those of us who don't speak the radio vernacular. But what this will do also when you're not talking to another PocLink style radio, you just go into the settings on the standard more walkie-talkie style radio. You get the settings out of there and you just match them up, and like magic you're talking. So another thing you've noticed on these radios, they have a number called an IMEI number. And you're like, what the heck is IMEI? For those of us who don't tread this world often, IMEI is International Mobile Equipment Identity. It's a 15-digit code baked into every mobile radio or phone. It lets carriers know who to block just in case something's stolen. And for push to talk, it's how the network verifies who we are before we talk over the network. So if you're wondering why I'm wearing the sunglasses, well, that's for your benefit, not mine. My eyes look pretty rough. Sleep sometimes is tough when you get old. But anyway, that's another story. All right, so why would I want these things? You know, I'm not really what you would call a prepper and that sort of thing. However, what happens here in the state of Florida is we have hurricane season. And hurricane seasons here run for about 6 months. We have a lot of inclement weather, and there's a ton of times that, sadly, my Verizon network fails. Sometimes it will be a different network that will fail. I'll talk to friends, and they'll be like, yeah, my cell was down last night. Was yours? No, mine wasn't. Well, my kids are spread out, and sometimes their T-Mobile may be down, and my Verizon may be down, and something else somewhere. And this is going to be able to hit cell towers regardless of what network it is. So it offers me redundancy to simply quickly talk to my children when we do these things. The other thing is for my grandchildren. When they go out and play, I want to have some direct communication with them. I want to be able to track where they are, and I don't want to have to call them. I want to know where they are, and I want to be able to instantaneously be able to talk with them. So I think you're getting the gist of what these things can be used for. It's way more than just some sort of novelty item. I think this is something that every family can certainly use. You don't have to be a prepper. If you're a prepper, that's fine. And I know ham radio people, they put these things down. And you know, like this Garmin InReach, it's a great device and I love it. It is something that I use when I'm out doing stuff off grid. But this I will also be additionally using when I travel on the Spider, when I travel on the Harley or on my Triumph Tiger. I'm going to be using this to talk to Coach Vic real time. I believe these radios are going to be a blessing to me and to my family. So there you go. But let's do some testing on these things. That's the real thing. This is test one. How do you hear?
I hear loud and clear.
Okay, so the walkie-talkie function, what I've discovered is it works for a little over a mile. You know, we have a lot of trees in this area, so I'm assuming that, you know, when they talk about line of sight, it's going to be more desertous terrain, I would think. But when Ken and I travel on motorcycles, the walkie-talkie function, we're never separated by over a mile. So that will be very, very helpful for us when we're riding together and one of us falls. We can get the attention when cell service is down. Also, I'm going to some areas now where I'm checking that I normally get down to 1 bar and can't communicate. So I'm trying to determine, you know, am I going to be able to have cell service? So we'll see. All right, so I am in the middle of nowhere, and you know, this is one of those things where we don't have any coverage out here at all. So I'm thinking I'll test this in this area, because if I get coverage out here, my Verizon does not work out here. Let's see what's going on. Test for POC, test for POC. How do you hear? Over.
I hear loud and clear.
This thing, it kills in these areas that I don't have cell coverage. I cannot call on my phone here. There's a lot of trees, a lot of weird stuff out here, a lot of hills. I think a lot of it has to do with the cell phone. As you go over these hills, it has to maintain that constant connection. So it's constantly dropping, and that's why you can't do it. Going down a nice hill here, we get to the bottom, let's see what happens here. I'm testing from the bottom of a hill with no cell coverage. How do you hear?
I hear loud and clear, and I'm in the weight room.
Okay, so she's in a part of the house normally that doesn't do well either. So between the two, I'm telling you, it's as we said in ATC, this would be, I would consider this 5x5. 5 would be volume for one of them, and clarity would be the other. This thing has been 5x5 everywhere I go. I haven't been able to find a weak spot, even in the middle of nowhere, which has really surprised me, because everyone, you know, online, oh, if you don't have cell coverage, they're right. If you don't have any cell coverage, but my Verizon cell coverage, I'm going places where I've got 1 to 0 bars, where that little SOS shows up there, and for whatever reason, so maybe there's AT&T or some other network that still works out there, and this is bouncing off of those cells, but it's working, and this thing's pretty cool, I can tell you that. So as far as the POC, push over cellular, this thing's spectacular. I have not been able to get it to not work one single time, and I've been as far away as 100 miles, so, you know, do with that what you will. Is it going to be 100% everywhere? I'm sure you could probably throw something at it where it wouldn't work, but I haven't been able to. And if you were to look down this road, you'd see there ain't diddly squat out here. You know, there's trailers and trees. That's all that's out here. All right, well, I've got another section up here where I turn back towards the house. I'm going to check it one more time. This little area's got some big canopy oaks that hang over the road, where I always lose coverage. And if I'm there on a phone, it'll drop. I can't, in fact, I can't, it's so bad there, I can't even stream music for like 3 miles. It's just this spot. And it's a place where I ride all the time. And it's always disconcerting if a deer ran out in front of me. That's why I carry my inReach, so that I could at least get emergency help, even if I can't talk to someone. So when I go riding, I'll know that I can carry this with me, and then Coach Vic can hear me in the event that I had a problem. The thing as with any of these is they have to be on your person, because if you got in an accident and it threw you clear of the motorcycle, you're going to need it on you, you know, because you're not going to be able to talk from the distance. So having this thing's pretty small, smaller than my cell phone. I can throw this in a jacket pocket and it does just fine. In the event that I fell, you know, between that and my inReach, I could get emergency help, and I could also talk to Coach Vic. I'm down to 1 bar. When I make the turn back into town, it'll get back down to 0 as I turn and go under these oaks. It drops to the bottom of the hill, and then it's, like I said, you can't even stream music for 3 miles. If I get anything here, I'm going to be like totally flabbergasted. I mean, those areas are bad, but this area, when you can't stream music, then you know it's bad. It's just, I mean, there's nothing. All right, so I'm getting to the bottom of the hill. Here we go. This is the big test. Test 1, 2, 3. How do you hear? Over.
I hear loud and Charlie Lima Echo Alfa Romeo.
Look at her, trying to get all phonetic on me. She hears Charlie Lima Echo Alfa Romeo. Loud and clear. Wow. And right now I'm sitting at 0 bars on my phone. That's pretty amazing. I'm out on Miccosukee Road at that spot where it's so dead I normally can't even stream music.
Well, you got a good piece of equipment there to talk on.
When I ride, I'll be taking this with me. If I ever hit a deer or something, at least I could call you. You could call for help.
Been clear on that info.
All right, I'm heading back home. I'll see you in about a half hour or so.
10-4, buddy.
10-4, old buddy. Look at her. She's like an old redneck on the dadgum CB radio. Look at Coach Vic. She's going back to her roots. That woman ain't right, man. She's funny. All right. Well, next time you see me, I'll be sitting in my kitchen and we'll be talking. All right, so I'm going to tell you, these two guys, they're pretty doggone amazing. I really, really like them. It's the POC-1 Ultra from PocLink Radio. Really, really cool. I cannot tell you how impressed I am with these things. They really work great. Whenever I get Coach Vic to using them and she gets silly, then I know it's really good. Isn't that right, Coach Vic?
Yes, that radio, what's it called? PocLink.
PocLink, the POC-1 Ultra.
The POC-1 Ultra. It's a little handy dandy handheld radio. Press the button, 10-4, good buddy. Roger that. Repeat one more time. Over, out. Easy. Signing off. Oops, I'm talking on the radio. It's supposed to go from here to California.
All right, so whenever Coach Vic gets to laughing about these things and that sort of stuff, then I know she really likes it, because she takes this stuff really serious, way more serious than I do. She's over there cooking, by the way. You hear her stirring stuff up, making noise. That's because my studio is my kitchen. I don't want you to think that this is a...
Let me retract that. The house is a studio. Living room, piano room, foyer, kitchen. I think it's even meddling into my office.
It is what it is. What can I tell you? You know...
It's from all the stuff being sent to him. So keep sending more stuff. And by the way, I still like that heated vest.
It's the best, isn't it?
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
What she doesn't know is I have a new jacket coming in from that same company. Oh, yes, I do. So... the PocLink POC-1 Ultra, 2 massive thumbs up from the Coach Bob channel. These things, I plan on getting another pair, maybe 2 pair more. This is going to be something that the grandkids could use when they're around. Again, we can use during hurricane season with our kids when communication is virtually nil. These things are going to work out great for us. I know they are. I'll be dropping a link down below on the functionality of these things. It goes through all of the menus. The manufacturer does a much better job than I would be capable of doing, going through all the features on this thing. But the features are simple. I will say that everything on this thing was really, really easy to use, and there was nothing lost in communication. There are tons of reviews on these things out there on the internet. Feel free to type it in, look them up. Everyone that knows me knows I like gadgets. These are definitely 5 stars for me. Well, there you have it. The POC-1 Ultra. Get you some, baby. Coach Vic wants to give a shout out, so let's let her do that, okay?
If anyone from the swim team is watching this, thank you. I love my Coach Vic cup. Oh, let me say, Coach Vic Yeti.
The Yetis are really cool. So until next time, you go out by the motorcycle of your dreams, eat right, take care of yourself, and remember, if you're not having fun, you're most definitely doing it wrong. I don't know. Where does all this stuff come from? I just don't know.